get comfortable. Again, checking your sitting bones, making sure you feel them in the ground. Nice long spine coming out of your pelvis, shoulders down, away from your ears, crown of the head to the sky. And you can place your hands on your knees, your lower thighs. And on the inhale, let's tip our chin up to the sky. And exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin to sky. Exhale, chin to chest. And one more time, chin to sky. Relaxing the shoulders down. And exhale, chin to chest. Now head to neutral. And inhaling, looking to the right. Exhale to center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. A couple more rounds on your own. Inhaling right. Exhaling. Inhale, left. Getting some nice movement into the neck. And when you're ready, coming to center, let's get some movement and loosen up our shoulders a little bit. Let's shrug them up to our ears. Stand, shrug, and release. Nice sigh helps with the release. You might as well just sort of let it go. Inhale up. Clench, and exhale down. And one more time, inhale up. Scrunch, and exhale down. You can shake it out a little bit if you like. Let's plant the right hand off to our right, the side of our right hip, and then bring the left arm up and over, keeping our left sitting bone grounded into the ground, making sure that we have nice length and opening throughout the left side of our body, rolling the left shoulder back. And then let's get some arm movement going like we're playing our 80s power chords, which, Emmett, you're too young to know about 80s power chords, but we're gonna move our arm in one direction, big circles in one direction. Making sure we don't hold our breath, keeping the breath flowing. Making sure our shoulders are down and away from our ears. We're not scrunching up. And just being mindful of how your shoulder feels and your chest is feeling as you're moving your arm around. And let's flow in the opposite direction. Enjoying the way it feels. Slowly coming to a pause. Let's take the left hand, place it down beside your left hip, bringing the right arm up and overhead, making sure our right hip this time is settled into the mat. Our right arm is up and over, reaching from right sitting bone all the way up through your body, through the fingertips, rolling that right shoulder back. And then bringing the arm in circles in one direction. And paying attention to how that feels. You know, we take our body and a lot of what it does for granted in so many ways. It's interesting to just pay attention to how we feel in our body as we move. We don't often do that. And flowing in the opposite direction. And coming to a gentle stop. Sitting up in our easy seat, aligning our spine over our pelvis, crown of head to sky. And then you can rest our hands on our knees and leading with our heart, coming over the legs. You might want to bring your hands out in front, so hands on the ground. You may go forearms to ground, or you may come all the way down. We want to make sure our sitting bones are on the ground. We don't want to be rolling forward or anything. So let's try to make sure we stay stable in our seat. And breathe. And then wherever you are, let's slowly come up leading with the heart as a way to keep our spine nice and long so our lower spine does not get compressed. And back to an easy seat. Let's now take our right arm and bring it up and bring the right hand so that its palm is facing on our back at our lower neck, sort of in between our shoulder blades. And then we'll bring our left hand, bring it behind us, and scooch the forearm and fingers of the left hand up towards the right fingertips. Now, ultimately, we're hoping to bring fingertips sort of hooked together. This is called Gomukhasana arms. But you don't have to connect. It's mostly the spirit of the movement that we're looking for and that feeling in our body of opening up our chest and giving ourselves a slight back bend. So if your fingers just barely touch, that's great. If your fingers don't touch at all and there's, yearning towards one another in that direction, that's great too. And enjoy the feeling of nice open chest, crown to sky, right elbow to sky. Breathe. And then release. Shake your arms out if that's helpful. Then we're going to take the left hand, bring it up and over so that the left hand is touching the lower neck in between the shoulder blades area with our left elbow to sky. Bringing the right arm up, behind and up, fingertips moving in the direction of one another or touching or just hooking in with one another. Left elbow to sky. Nice open chest, breath freely flowing. And maybe just see what you feel here. See if anything feels different from the other side. See if you notice anything. And if you're feeling some extra sensation, try to breathe into that and relax into that. But we never want to push ourselves to pain. Always pleasant challenge, never pain. And breathing through any pleasant challenge that we may be feeling. And release. Shake it out if you like. And putting our hands on our knees, let's do some torso rolls to get some movement in and around our torso and lower back area. So we're going to bring our torso to the left, out in front, over to the right and behind. Ooh, I feel things popping. Sort of an added bonus. Ooh, it's like we're stirring the pot with our torso. And you may do this quickly. You may do this slowly. You may do it by leaning forward and back a fair bit, or maybe not. But as you see best, make sure you breathe. And slowing down, let's do the opposite direction. Oh man, I feel it in my lower back. Ay. It's a good thing we're all here today, ladies and gentlemen. This is good for all of us. And coming to a gentle stop. We're now going to do a seated cat-cow. So keeping your hands on your knees, using your hands as a bit of leverage as you bring your chest forward, looking up at the sky. So a little bit of a back bend as we bring our chest forward, pulling our shoulders, blades slightly together and looking up. This is seated cow. And then rounding the spine and sort of pulling on the legs to keep pulling on the knees to keep us from falling backwards. Chin to chest, seated cat. Seated cow, bringing that chest forward, pulling the shoulders back, opening the heart, looking up. And exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. And let's do this one more time. Seated cow. And seated cat. And coming back to an easy seat. Let's now move to tabletop. So tabletop, we want to make sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips as best we can. Our fingers are spread. That helps with stability. And the tops of our feet are on the mat. We're going to do a lateral spinal stretch. So pushing into those hands to make sure we're staying nice and stable in the upper body. Let's put our right shoulder and right hip together into a C and look over the right shoulder. Lateral spinal stretch to the right. Passing through center and bringing left shoulder and left hip together into a C. Looking over the left shoulder. Passing through center. C shape to the right. Looking over the shoulder, pushing into the hands. And back through center. To the left. Feeling a nice stretch in the hip. Woohoo, that feels good. And passing through center. And one more time. Right hip, right shoulder. And pass through center, left hip, left shoulder. And coming to tabletop. Well then, keeping our knees aligned with our hips, let's walk our hands forward to the top of the mat. So our arms are nice and long. And this is puppy dog pose. You can do a couple of things here. You can keep your arms nice and straight and strong for a more active version of puppy dog. Trying to create some space between your shoulders and your ears. So we don't want the shoulders scrunched up in your ears. Or you can relax down and bring your forearms and your forehead to the mat for a more passive version of puppy dog pose. Making sure we breathe either way if we're doing the active or more passive version. Breathing is very important. And coming back up to tabletop. From tabletop, let's take our right leg, extend it straight back in front of us, and place the right balls of the toes on the mat for a calf stretch. And we're going to, keeping the balls of the toes firmly on the ground, on the mat, we're going to gently lean back into our calf, stretching out our calf muscle, keeping the leg nice and straight. You can either pulse while you're here if that's nice, or just keep the pressure consistent, that's nice too. And breathe through that lovely stretch in your calf and the back of the leg. Back to tabletop. Left side now, left leg straight back, balls of the toes on the mat. And gently pushing or gently pulsing into the toes, into the heel to stretch that left calf out. Oh, I love calf stretch, it feels so nice. And back to tabletop. Let's now come up to a kneeling position. Bring the right leg straight out to the side beside us and having the right foot parallel to the side of your mat. And bringing the left arm up and over, gate pose, rolling the left shoulder back, but energetically reaching up from the left knee through the left side body out to the fingertips. And the right hand is gently resting on the right leg. It's best if you avoid the knee joint. I don't like putting pressure on our knees if we don't have to. And coming back up, bringing the knee in so that you're back in a kneeling position. Bringing the left foot out this time, left leg out to the side, making sure that the edge of the left foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, making sure the outer portion of the foot, the outer side of the foot is stuck to the ground. We don't want it rolling up, we want it stuck to the ground. And bringing right arm up and over, left hand gently resting on the left leg, avoiding the knee. Ah, nice right side body stretch. Roll back that shoulder. Breathing into the side body. Stretch the stretch in your right hip. Ah, it's nice. And then coming back to center and back to tabletop. From here, let's take the right arm, shifting our weight into the left hand, bringing our right arm up, hand to the sky, fingertips to sky, and then back down, bringing that right arm across our chest, the right palm facing the sky, and lowering down onto your right shoulder. From here, you can bring the left hand straight out in front of you, towards the top of your mat, thread the needle, checking to make sure that your knees are underneath your hips as best you can. I know it's sometimes a little bit hard to see from this angle, but we try our best. You may wish to lift up your head a little bit and bring your head slightly up towards the top of the mat to lengthen out the neck so you're not compressing your neck. You can stay here, or if you'd like to bring your left hand behind your back so that the top of the left hand is in contact with your right hip, you can do that. That's called taking the bind. You can take the bind or you can not take the bind. Either is great. Don't forget to breathe and enjoy this pose. Unwinding the left arm if you took the bind. And then either way, gently pushing up into tabletop. Now for the left side, shifting our weight into the right hand, bringing the left arm up to the sky, hand up to sky, and then back down across your chest, left palm to sky, as we lower down onto the left shoulder. Bringing the right hand straight out in front. Checking our alignment, hips and knees. Lifting up our head and bringing it forward a little bit to lengthen the neck. And if you want to, then take the bind with the right arm, bringing it behind, placing the top of the right hand onto the left thigh, getting a nice stretch in that right shoulder. Unwinding if you took the bind, and then pressing back up into tabletop. You know what? Let's do some hip rolls here. I feel like throwing that in. Why not? What the heck? So from here, we're going to be in tabletop, and then we're going to move our pelvis forward in a circle, and around and behind, around in one direction to the front, and back behind. And kind of like the seated torso rolls, you can do this a little or a lot. It's just nice to breathe in time with this and feel this nice stretch in our hips. And slowly coming to a stop, and then moving in the opposite direction. Loosening up our hips a little. Don't hold your breath. And then coming to tabletop. From here, let's step the right foot forward in between the hands, and then bringing our torso and our arms up, fingertips to sky, palms facing one another, crescent lunge. You can stay here, or if you'd like to drop the elbows down, open across the collarbones and the chest into angel wings. And then inhale up, exhale, down, angel wings. Open across the chest. Nice strength in the shoulder blades. Inhale up. Exhale down one more time to angel wings. And then bringing the hands down on the mat to frame the front foot. Let's now tuck the back toe and lift the back knee to a low lunge. You may want to tense your fingers for this if that is easier for you. From here, let's hop the left foot forward just a little bit so that it's pointing off to the upper left side of the mat. And then bringing the torso up, coming to a standing position. Here we're going to make sure our right knee is aligned over right ankle. Our toes of our right foot in particular are spread. Both toes should be spread. And then our arms are up overhead into a high prayer. Make sure you can see your right big toe. So if you can't see your right big toe, gently encourage your knee over to the right and squaring your hips to the front of the mat. This is warrior one. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. From here, you can drop your hands as you adjust your feet. So let's take the left foot, bring it parallel to the back of the mat, and then bringing your right heel in line with the left arch of your foot. This is important for stability. Again, making sure toes are spread and your feet feel secure. The knee of your right knee is still over your right ankle, and you should still be able to see your right toe. Let's bring our arms out into a T shape. And then look over our right fingertips into warrior two. Shoulders away from the ears. Feeling nice and strong in warrior two, engaging the abs, bringing them in, kind of like a girdle or a belt. Then let's drop the right forearm onto the right lower thigh, bringing the left arm up and over at a 90-degree angle, extended side angle. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can drop your hand down to the inside part of your foot and bring the left arm straight up, fingertips pointing to sky. And if you want a little more in this pose, you can bring the left arm back behind you and take the bind here so that your top of your left hand is in contact with your right hip. But you don't have to. You can stop at any particular point. If that's working for you, that's where you go. And if you took the bind, unwind, bringing fingertips to sky, straight to the ceiling. Coming up, forearm to lower thigh. Bring that arm at a 45-degree angle. Left arm 45-degree angle in front. And then coming back up to warrior two. Right knee over right heel, toes spread, arms in a T, as if someone is pulling on either arm, like trying to tug of war your arms. And from here, let's pivot the right foot so that your right foot is parallel to your left foot, so you're pointing off to the left side of your mat. And bring the arms up to a high prayer pose, abs engaged, shoulders away from your ears, nice and strong arms. This is star pose. Now, bringing the feet together. Let's do some balancing poses. Fun fact, I saw a news show recently where a GP was talking about healthy aging, and she said that it's been apparently proven that people who are able to balance on one leg for 10 seconds or more have a higher chance of living to old age healthfully than people who can't. And it's not because there's anything magical about balancing on one foot, it's more of your brain working in concert with your body and everything being able to coordinate to allow you to do that. So that was interesting. For this balancing pose, I'd encourage you to go near a wall Doesn't hurt to have a wall button near you for some support. And you can start with your hand on the wall, one hand on the wall if you'd like. Placing the weight into your left foot, making sure that the left foot is nicely grounded, that you feel all four corners of your feet from your balls of your toes through your heel. It's nice and stable and your toes are spread. Let's bring the right knee up so your right thigh is parallel to the floor and your calf is at a 90-degree angle. If you want, you can take your hands off the wall and into a low prayer at your chest position. And you can stay here. It also helps in a balancing pose to keep your eyes focused on a single point on the floor a few feet in front of you for focus. Make sure that thing isn't moving, whatever it is. That's distracting. From here, you can take your knee out to the right. Breathe. And then bring it into center. And bring your leg down. I'm going to step back onto the mat and go back into star pose. And from star, let's windmill our foot and our hands to the front of the mat to a low lunge. So both feet are pointing towards the top of the mat and your hands are framing your right foot. And then let's come back into tabletop. Okay. Now, from here, let's bring the left foot forward this time, in between our hands, and bring the torso up and the hands up, fingertips to sky, palms facing one another, crescent lunge, other side. And then this time, let's bring our hands, if you want to, bring our hands behind us, clasp behind our lower back sitting bones area. And open up the chest, so rolling the shoulders back, straightening the arms, and breathing. You can unwind the arms, bring them back, fingertips to sky, palms facing one another, and then bringing them down to frame your front foot. Tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee up to a low lunge. From here, hopping the right foot forward just a little bit so the foot is flat on the floor and the toes are pointing sort of off to the right and towards the top right corner of the mat. Bringing our torso up. Left knee this time aligned to left heel, making sure you can see the left big toe. If you can't, move the knee to the left, squaring the hips parallel to the front of the mat, and then bringing the arms up in a high prayer to warrior one. Feeling nice and strong in warrior one. Then gently bringing the arms down, adjusting the right back foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat, and adjusting, scooching over the left heel and left foot so it's in line with the right arch. Keeping the left knee over left heel, extending the arms out to a T, looking over the left fingertips this time, shoulders down away from your ears. Warrior two. Dropping the left forearm onto the left lower thigh, bringing the right arm bicep along your ear. So there's a long line of energy from your right foot through your torso and out through your fingertips. You can stay here, or if you want to drop that left hand down to the ground, raising the right fingertips to sky. And then if you'd like, you can take the bind by wrapping the right arm behind your back, touching right top of hand to left hip. And breathing. If you you took the bind, you can release it and bring fingertips to sky once again. Bringing then left forearm to left lower thigh and right arm alongside the right side of your head. 45-degree angle in front of you. And coming back up to warrior two. And bringing left foot parallel to right foot this time, pointing towards the right side of your mat. But I'm going to turn around so you can see me. And again, we're now going to come to the wall. I'll let you have a moment to get to the wall. And we're going to balance on the other side. So shifting the weight into the right foot this time, making sure the right foot, the body part of the foot, which is everything but the toes, feel nice and grounded. And then the toes are spread for maximum stability. Once we feel stable, let's bring that left knee up. So left thigh is parallel to the ground and left calf is at a 90-degree angle. If you're near the wall and you feel comfortable releasing the wall, you can do that. I find it helpful to find that focal point and place hands to heart center. Breathing and trying to relax here. If you need to grab the wall, that's totally okay. If you're comfy here, you stay here. If you'd like, you can bring the knee out to the left. Trying to calm your mind if you're wiggly. I'm a little wiggly right now. Back to center. And feet on ground. Back to star position. Feet out wide, parallel to one another. Arms at a high prayer. Abs engaged. And then pivoting the left foot to the top of the mat, bring the hands to frame that left foot. Both toes are pointing forward. We're now in a low lunge. And back to tabletop. From here, let's walk our hands forward just a little bit towards the top of the mat and bring our right foot to the outside of our right hand. So just beside the right hand, but on the outside of it, not on the inside. This is lizard pose. You can either stay here if this is where you're at today. You can come down onto your forearms if that's accessible to you. And if you'd like a little bit more, you can tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. And if you'd like to try something a little more funky, I was playing with this the other day, you can lift up your right arm and take the bind. You totally don't have to do that, that's just an option. Different things for you to play with in lizard pose. If you took the bind coming out of it and forearms to the mat, dropping the back knee, coming back onto the hands, and coming back to tabletop. Now for the other side, we'll walk the hands forward again. Bring the left foot to the left outside of the left hand. Enjoying how this feels for a moment. You should have a nice stretch in your back of your left thigh and your front right hip flexor. Coming down onto your forearms if you'd like to. Tucking your back toes if you'd like to. And then taking the bind with your left arm if you'd like to. All of those are options. None of them are mandatory. It's whatever feels good in your body today and what's accessible to you. Breathe in the pose. Sometimes when we're in something like this, it can be very tempting to hold your breath, but let's not do that. Let's keep it flowing. If you took the bind, release it, forearms to mat, fingertips spread. Dropping the back knee down, hands to the mat, and back into tabletop. Let's take a little rest. We've earned it. Let's bring our knees mat width apart, toes together. Bring our sitting bones back onto our heels, arms straight out in front for child's pose. You can either keep the tension in the arms if you want that, or you can just relax the arms down. Breathe. Feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe. From here, you can flip your palms to the sky. And you can leave them here, or if you want, you can bend at your elbows and clasp your hands together behind your back, sort of at your lower neck, upper back area. And if you want a little more stretch in your arms, you can walk your elbows to the top of the mat a little bit more. Child's pose, prayer hands. Then bringing the arms straight out in front to regular child's pose. And coming up to tabletop, and then coming on to a seat. Instead of being along my mat like this, I'm going to be straight on so you can see me a little bit better for these next couple of poses. We're going to make sure we feel our sitting bones rooted into the mat, extending our right leg straight out in front with our right foot flexed, so toes pointing to the sky. Bringing the left foot in and having the left foot in contact with the right upper inner thigh. This is Janu Shishasana, is the pose. Being conscious of our spine over our head over top of our pelvis, nice and long, imagining that string in the crown of our head, trying to relax the left leg down. You can stay here if this is good for you, or if you'd like a little more, you can extend, lifting up through the chest, lifting up through the heart, and coming down over the leg. Nice long spine, and then relaxing down. And making sure our leg is as extended as possible. But at a minimum, it should have a little bit of a bend in the knee. It may have a little bit more than a little bit of a bend in the knee, and that's okay. But this is what we're aspiring to. And if you have it in you today and you feel like just extending out a little bit further, you can try and inch yourself a little bit further along the leg, or stay settled where you are. And then leading with your heart, coming back up to a seated position. Switching legs, bringing the left leg straight out in front, left foot flexed, right sole of the foot in contact with inner left thigh. Being mindful of our spine, nice and long, crown to sky, shoulders down and away from our ears. You can stay here, or if you want, you can lengthen on the inhale. And as you exhale, leading with your heart, coming down over the leg, keeping your left foot flexed, keeping your left leg as long as you can. If you're able to inch forward further down your leg, go for it. Or you can relax and enjoy where you are. Breathe. And leading with your heart, coming back up to a seated position. Let's lengthen the right leg out again, and this time we're going to bring the left leg in. So your knees to the sky, your left foot is on the mat, toes facing forward. And we're going to try Marichi Asana A. It's a fun pose. We're going to bring our left elbow on the inside of our left thigh, reach around so that the top of your left hand is in contact with your left thigh area, and then bringing right hand behind. And we're trying to capture right fingertips and left fingertips together, or as close to it as we can. If you're good here, you can stay here, or you can lengthen on the inhale. And exhale, come down over the right leg, flexing the right foot, toes to sky. Right leg nice and long. Trying to relax down and breathe. And leading with our heart coming back up. And then unwinding. And bringing the left leg straight out in front, foot flex this time. Bringing the right heel in towards right glute, sole of the right foot on the ground, right knee to sky. Bringing the right elbow on the inside of the right knee, wrapping the right arm around so that right back of the hand is on right thigh, and bringing the left hand around and trying to capture and hook fingertips with one another. And you can stay here or lengthening in on the inhale, and exhaling and folding over that left leg. And leading with the heart as you inhale and come up. And unwind. And from here, let's plant our feet on the mat, knees to sky, and come down onto the mat with our back. So back in contact with the mat, shoulders in contact with the mat. And from here, let's bring our feet mat width apart, knees together. Taking the right foot, bringing it up and hooking right ankle, outer right ankle, onto the outside of the left knee. And then gently bringing both legs to the right. Your shoulders should be flat on the mat. Your arms can be in a cactus goalpost formation, or they can be straight out in a T. Either one is fine, whatever feels good to you. And relax and breathe into the stretch in your lower left back, your left hip. Some mobility in your spine feels good. I love twists. Twists are great for keeping mobility in your spine, your back. And then coming back up and unwinding the right foot, placing it along the edge of your right side of your mat, knees together. This time we're going to lift up the left leg, hook left ankle, outer ankle, over right outer knee, and bring the legs to the left. Shoulders on the mat, arms in a T or in goalposts. And relaxing and breathing here. Maybe even putting a little smile on your face if you're enjoying it. And then unwinding the legs and bringing soles of the feet to the mat. check the time. Hold on a second. What do we have here? Yeah, we have a couple minutes. I'll give you an option. If you want a more active pose as you're laying down, you can either bring your hands to the mat, face down underneath your glutes as support for your lower back, and then bring your legs and feet straight up to the ceiling for a more active waterfall pose. Or if you have a wall nearby and you'd like a more passive pose, you can come up to the wall, bring your hips right up against the wall, against the baseboard. Come down onto your back, bring your legs up against the wall, scooching your hips against your glutes against the baseboard. And do the leg inversion in a more passive kind of way. Either one works. Depends on how you're feeling today. These serve slightly different purposes. One is more active, one is more passive, but both poses will give you the lovely benefit of an inversion. It's supposed to be quite healthy to lift your legs, reverse the flow of blood. You can place your arms, well, if you're in waterfall pose and your hands are under your glutes, you keep them there. If you're against the wall, you can have your arms in a T, you can have them in goalposts, or you can have them resting on your heart and your belly. That's nice too. Breathe. It's actually apparently very good to do the legs up the wall before bed. Apparently. It's supposed to be a very relaxing pose for bed, but you can be the judge of that for yourself. And just relax into the mat, into the feeling of your torso, back resting to the ground and your legs up the wall, and how relaxing that feels. And from here, if you're not against the wall, just gently with control lower your legs. If you are against the wall, you can bring your feet down, walk them down along the wall, and let's move into Savasana. So for Savasana, we're going to lay down on our mat with our shoulders away from our ears, our chin slightly tucked to the back of our neck is long, our palms are to the sky, our arms are a little bit away from our body in a way that's comfortable. Our legs, our feet are apart, our feet are off to the side, naturally, comfortably. Our face is soft. Our torso is soft, our chest is soft, our back is soft. Our legs are relaxed. Just enjoy the feeling of being supported by the surface beneath you. And we started today's class by being mindful of our breath and being mindful of the flow of energy along our spine from our lower back to our chest. Being mindful of that and how it felt. And spent some time during our poses today to tune into how our body feels in the various poses we found ourselves in, and listening to what felt good and what didn't feel good, or just how things felt to move. And really, that's all a form of meditation, just being aware of how we feel and think in the moment. Just being aware of it non-judgmentally, just observing. And maybe a breath or two more in Savasana. When you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Move your legs a little bit. Bringing feet to the mat, knees to the sky. Rolling over onto one side, using arm as pillow. And then gently pushing up into a seated position.